all learned from Darkwing Duck are certainly applicable to Ogre Battle 64. Like, you wouldn't go into a battle in Ogre Battle 64 like, let's get safe. No, let's get cautious. Although maybe you could. Right. We did a suspend mid-battle. I don't remember what the hell we were doing. This is the system. Oh yeah, this battle. This is the cool one where you have a time limit. That's the not so cool part. But the cool part is that there are these doors that you have to open, and that's what lets you progress. Legions. Alright, back to business. We're going to start marching people to the next door here. So Hiten was en route to just murder the boss, so once he gets out of camp, camping right outside the battlements there. This is our super OP party, I believe. It's like E10, D-Rock, Mega Man, Serp, and Chaos Factor, although folks are kind of low on health, so hopefully this camping will catch them up. They do actually recover some hit points when they're camping, I understand it. Hey John, how you been? Good to see you again. Hi Ben. You wanna climb up on the chair? No? You're starting to climb up here. How's it going? 6 Gun, Chaos, E10, Kami, Yukipo. A lot of good Tuesday/Wednesday night. Double Witch is pretty bad. Sleep and paralysis. I think paralysis is a worse status effect than sleep. You can always... I think if something hits you, you're likely to wake up from sleep, so you could maybe get a second attack in. Just the way this game is set up. Oh, I should close the auction, shouldn't I? My parents were in town today. I wasn't really at my machine at all. Do that right quick. Congratulations, He-10 style, on winning the auction. Aha! Send me a Discord DM if you would, He-10, with the game you're looking to add, and I'll get you set up. Oh, I haven't watched it yet. Is it good, Yukipo? It is comparable to Fire Emblem, yeah. Right, 6 Gun. I do a lot of editing for people. I edit a lot of physics papers in my time. There was one season of Orange is the New Black that I didn't care for so much. I don't actually remember which one it was now. The most recent one that I saw was quite good, though. And these guys are just... We might get a game over here. We've got almost everybody standing on the base, so that's certainly helpful. I'm gonna have to do a field pause out here. Just because they're getting their status effects off and keeping us from getting enough damage and not get pushed back. Good show. House of Cards is quite good as well. House of Cards, the season before last, wasn't so great. But it was one of those, like, wrote themselves into a corner kind of problems. Like, the show is fundamentally interesting when it's competence porn, when the main characters are doing well, and less interesting when they're failing, but they need to fail sometimes. Like, the show wouldn't be interesting if they just always won. And that was a section of time where they needed to fail. And not as much healing as I would have liked from sleeping. Yeah. Netflix has done some stuff that's bad. Fortunately, it's just been that one round. They haven't really renewed it for a second season. Hemlock Grove is pretty terrible. It was supposed to be... The sell on it was awesome. It's like, hey, let's do a modern take on Twin Peaks. But it was... Twin Peaks, I think, works because it feels sincere. Like, David Lynch is actually a weird guy. And even though he does stuff that's super strange, like, it doesn't feel like he's trying to be strange just to shock people or get them excited. That's just how he is. And Hemlock Grove felt a little forced. Behold, this is the ultimate power. The legendary power is mine. What you have is not the ultimate power. This is the ultimate power. So the like actual game kind of took off in the past maybe 5 battles. You find out about the ogres and the demons and the ultimate power, which isn't like, you know, related to ninjas flipping out and killing people. Or big pimpin'. See if this guy does party damage, that would be really bad for us. Alright, no problem. Way to go, team. I still need to watch some of that Amazon stuff. So this is the meaning of the ultimate power. Yeah, exactly. Even the denizens of the underworld need my beckoning. Alright, so that wasn't the end of the battle. We go transition directly into it. At least we were managing to get a heal out there. They'll probably bring back Mario Maker if they do another feature patch. It's kind of been slowing down on Twitch. I was in the position where I was only getting like, you know, a few levels per session and going and doing event courses. There's only so many of those we can do. Hopefully Serp doesn't perma-die there. It was mid-battle, so there's nothing we can do to resurrect him. Fingers crossed, I suppose. What are you talking about, Buckin? No whammies! Woohoo! That was close. Yeah, they will come back. We just gotta have something to reinvigorate it, I think. Official patch would be nice to that end. Oh, can we not open? There we go. Theopod humans? Metal Gear? The creator? He's like a crater. Feared the humans for their capability of gaining godlike power. He decided to put a seal on their infinite potential. Oh, this is kind of cool. There's actually a... there's a similar kind of concept in Diablo with the Nephilim. Humans are basically super powered and they try to limit their power. I guess it would just be Hugo telling us all this if we weren't able to recruit Saradin. I also went to a wedding where they read this cool passage from Socrates/Plato, talking about how way back in the day, like, humans used to be joined at the back or something, and that when they were 2, they had infinite power, and the gods were afraid of it, so that they split us all in twain, and now we search for our partner to gain that infinite power back again, and that's what marriage is. It was a really interesting reading to hear at a wedding. I enjoyed it. Actually, Dieter's wedding. If you see him in chat, you can ask him about it. Ran the soundboard of that. It was really cool. We did a bunch of like I think his wife came on to the Final Fantasy prelude. No, not the prelude. Is the arpeggios, right? The prologue, the Final Fantasy theme, Da, 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 da. It sounds like wedding music. Right. Yeah, they added that a couple months ago, Buckin. It's pretty cool. I think some people are frustrated because they had to displace a lot of useful information to put that on the left side. Twitch fundamentally isn't a social platform, so I guess folks would rather have like the games that they're following, and streamers would rather have like their video manager on the left side there, rather than have that taken up by the friend system. But I feel like it seems to me like they need to implement a friend system to add something else that's cool in the future. Just don't know what that other thing is yet, so I'm withholding judgment. Cataphract is a super phalanx. I'm gonna have a few of those now. I think we've converted everyone who can be converted to these new cool classes. There's nobody sitting around their old basic class anymore. I did not get a chance to pop into this game and level folks up and fix their alignments and things like that with my folks being in town, but I will do that for next week for sure. Everybody's looking good. So are these two, do these count as Elder Dragons, the Flare Brass and the Ozzy Dahaka? Berserkers and Valkyries. Yeah, I haven't unlocked the next class level for either of those two, have I? So I don't think so. If I go to He10, for example. Character commands, change squads. That makes sense. Whatever it is they evolve into, I don't think I have it yet. Maybe it's an item that I need to unlock. Stats are probably there. Oh, but I can only have one Black Knight anyway, right? So if I anything, I'd want to evolve them into something totally different, like maybe Ninja Master's probably not as good as Berserker. No. I'm probably going to end up having the one. It's okay. I guess I could maybe switch the gear over from this Black Knight here in Kami's party and change that over to the super group. Some altars, pick up Serp. Hey Serp, how you doing? Fortunately did not die. Swordmasters. I don't know if I can even convert them to Swordmasters anymore, actually. I think there's an alignment requirement for them. Yeah. No dice. You just died, but you fortunately did not get zombified. I was almost certain that was going to happen. Alright, so I can go to the Blue Basilica or the Secluded Land. In the past, when I've been given a decision in Ogre Battle, I've tried Googling it and made the wrong decision every time. Kami or someone else who's played, you know which one is correct to go to. Alright, let me think. While I'm waiting, I'll unequip this Black Knight over here and switch into something else. And then make probably Chaos Factor into a Black Knight. Nulu, I love you. You're about to be an Archmage, though. Would you say Black Knights are better in the front row or the back row? They do like a spell-like ability when they're in the front row. Wait. Does it not show up in the usual list? I don't think it's that I'm just blind. Black Knight. Oh, I guess I have to select it from here. That or I'm just blind. Secluded Land. Okay, thank you. Let me make sure that he's equipped with something good. Satan's Belova. Well, I like Satan. I like Belovas. Oh, that's cool. It changes his back row ability. I think he only does 2 in the front row, so maybe we do want him to be in the back. Does quite a bit more damage, though. That seems good. Freud Helm. Let's get that Get strength up if we can. Better armor. That looks great. Oh, to get a second one? Alright, maybe I'll try to score that after this mission here. Do you know the actual name of the map, Kami? Does it involve like visiting a town or something? Sure. It's probably good that they limit that stuff, you know? What is my favorite meme? I think every meme is overdone eventually and wears itself out. It just kind of goes with the flow, but when the Shibe meme first came out, you might know it as Doge. Wow. So valiant. Such Ogre. But that's been done to death now, so... I think I agree that memes are an interesting way for humans to bond, and they have been. It's not a modern phenomenon. We've had them since the dawn of civilization. The term's actually coined by Richard Dawkins. It's supposed to be like a memory equivalent of a gene, like a unit of memory that can be spread and replicate and reproduce among people. It's actually almost mimetic in and of itself that we've repurposed meme to mean an internet image captioned. Like, Ogre Battle 64 is better than March of the Black Queen in every possible way. Yeah, okay, it was a meme, exactly. If you just think of it as a spreadable unit of idea, a soundbite is also a meme. So like trickle-down economics is a meme. Manifest Destiny is a meme. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He's about to go all Satan ham on you and kick your asses. Or have his buddies do it. I have no idea, Kami. Maybe. I was able to get a Black Knight suddenly after a mission. Yeah, Kilroy is here. That's a good one. That stupid S we used to draw in the 90s in our notebooks. Yeah, and OK is nice too, because just about everybody can pronounce it. There's not weird pronunciation barriers. I'm not sure. I think there's like 40 scenes in the game. You should be prepared. In the case of Kilroy, I think that it's the same reason people like that stupid S symbol from the 90s, just because it's easy to draw. It's easy graffiti. I think the issue with memes eventually becomes that they start to replace like actual discourse, actual conversation. It's often easier to sum up your thoughts on something by just posting a picture or repeating a common soundbite. In lieu of like, you know, actually trying to discuss something. Then it's just a brick wall. I have not found a pumpkin head yet. Oh, that's interesting, Sixcon. I didn't realize there was actually like a use for it ever. Just that it was easy to draw, so people drew it. The legendary spellbooks at this point, though, they basically have the same functionality. It's just whether or not they. That's That's a lot of enemies that spawn right on the side of the map there. The only thing that changes is whether or not they have a different animation, I guess. Maybe they have elemental differences too that could matter. Fukusan. I don't remember what unit Fukusan is in. Yeah, you could. Rocked. Yeah, Zavar, thanks for the host.
What have you been playing?
Majora's Mask, nice. Are you playing the original release or the 3DS re-release? The latter's kind of tough. It's still pretty rough trying to get a 3DS capture card today. I'm doing alright. Family's been in town for the past week. Sister was here over the weekend, which is a shorter time. She's a cosmetologist, so like me, it's kind of tough for her to drop what she's doing, her business for too long. It loses momentum. We've been visiting, catching up. I showed them the streaming office, played all the crazy sound effects for them. Of course. Really would like to upgrade my cleric. I'm probably going to have to duplicate the item that increases alignment and force their alignment up. I'm guessing that's the one thing blocking me from upgrading them now, is that all my clerics have really terrible alignment. Please don't walk over this building. I'll send manually walk up here. There it is. I was offline last Friday, and I was offline the week before that for actually my wife's grandfather died, so we made an emergency trip to Connecticut. It's a bad main character. For a moment there, I forgot which button was what. There we go. Oh my god, he's walking straight onto the building. Alright, maybe he just won't step on it. There we go. I think the characters, their pathfinding tries to find the most efficient path that allows the quickest movement, and roads allow fast movement. I love this chick too. She's like, I'm gonna go fight! Oh, there's 10 dudes there. Never mind. I'm gonna go fight! Oh, there's 10 dudes there. Never mind. I'm gonna see if I can find Fukusan real quick. Gahan, Darkstar, Zap, Dio, Aznabel. That one. Yeah, this is a Nintendo 64 game. It's an SRPG, similar to games like Fire Emblem. It's probably the most well-known SRPG now. It's a little bit more strategy-focused. It's not turn-based. At least there's different segments of the game. There's this turn-based world map, or real-time world map segment, where people are actually moving, and you can pause the game, but you're not deciding movements in turn-based fashion, and then combat takes place turn-based. So we'll go over it when we get into one. There's a shop on this town. Check that out. There's the Spiky. We'll find which group has Fukusan in it. Fukusan upgraded, started as a Hawk person, and is now a Voltan, which is a good Hawk person. I don't know how long they're going to stay good, but they can't depromote. Let me check what's in the shop here, right quick. Yeah, I'll try to go over the way combat works as soon as we get into another one here. Gas gear. Nothing new on the consumable side of things. Basically, each unit in combat has a preset action that they'll use depending on what row that they're standing in, and they can stand in the front, middle, or back row. So for example, a wizard might try to hit them in the face with a club once if they're in the front row or the middle row, but they'll cast really good spells if they're in the back row. That's not actually the case for this game, but just as an example. So often there's a correct position for most units. Sometimes you have an interesting choice, my main character casts a spell if he's in the back row, but he attacks more times if he's in the front row. and then combat just plays out automatically. I've got animations turned off at the moment. You see that like the healer will cast 2 heal spells. And then once everyone has performed the number of actions that they're preset to perform, the battle will end, and whoever did the most damage is declared the winner, and the other unit, the one that lost, is pushed back. So part of the game is trying to progress by moving forward. Yeah, it's cool. I would really like to see another Ogre battle game that is basically the same as this one. Tactics Ogre came out, which is more like Final Fantasy Tactics. As I understand, it's a lot of the same team that worked on Final Fantasy Tactics and the Ogre Battle titles. I guess the Ogre Battle, the IP, is currently owned by Square. But this game is already a pretty massive improvement on the SNES title, March the Black Queen. It would be really interesting to see them take yet another go at it and see what they would keep and what they would toss out. Most of my issues with this game are quality of life based. Other than that, though, it's really, really good. You'll notice that I've got a weird party setup here. Why do I have a melee unit on the side? It's because if you get attacked from the side or behind, it changes your formation, which I think is a really cool design decision. I might need to stop and turn all these people to face east so that their makeup isn't getting messed up here. Yeah, Brigandine is... I think Brigandine is closer to Fire Emblem in that it's directed turn-based battling, like you're completely in control. Oh, these wizards aren't screwing around. Yikes. Can't believe we still got the win from that. Hold on, let me try to throw some Altars of Resurrection at these guys. That was Yahan at all that just got their asses kicked. So I have some Altars of Resurrection. We don't want Dio to die, we don't want other wizard to die. We don't have any healing items, we might be able to buy some real quick. The big thing with this one is having the 2 phases, movements in real time and combat. Kind of turn-based, but with very minimal control by the player. All members of you. Sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna try to heal everyone back up since they just kind of got their asses kicked. Okay, seems good. Final Fantasy Tactics. I think Tactics is closer to Fire Emblem. So is Ogre. Tactics Ogre. The thing with Tactics is the entire game is tactical. It's all, turn-based. One unit moves and another unit moves, and your movement and your action is built into your turn. Whereas this one, all of the units on the board are moving at the same time, almost more like an RTS. You can pause to assign commands, but fundamentally it's real time when it's on the map. And then battle's turn-based, but you don't really have fine control. So I describe this more as a strategy RPG, and Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics is a tactical RPG, where strategy means, long-term, major, overarching decisions, and tactics means the turn-by-turn decisions. In the weeds, so to speak. Man, I might need to catch people back up. The enemies are starting to kick our asses again. But it's also kind of nice to not be steamrolling every map anymore like we were before. Some more resin here. We actually wanted to use item Alter Resurrection on Flareling. We've lucked out. We haven't had any really important characters get permadeath. You can res them so long as you're on the same map. The big concern that can happen is that if they die and you don't resurrect them and you beat the map, they can turn into zombies, which are basically useless units. It's effectively the same as them perma-dying. So you have to be pretty careful. I think my personal preference is on the more tactical RPG side of the equation. You make all the fine decisions from round to round. just because this style could be a little bit more stressful. Like playing Red Alert 2, for example, excellent game. The entire Red Alert series, I think, deserves to be played on stream, as does the campaign mode for like StarCraft and Warcraft. But I get like optimization paralysis, so to speak, where it's like I know that every single second that I'm not doing something, I'm not playing optimally. And you see like the pros of those games are really, really, really good at it. They're always doing something that's productive. So I think that it helps for me to play them on Twitch, because it's getting me out of that mindset that I have to optimize everything. Like, now, clearly, if I'm just staring at the map thinking for a second, yes, I'm not deploying units or building structures or mining for resources, but that's okay. Like, you gotta, the first step to, or sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something, right? And you can't just say, I suck at this, and not try. I do have an Annihilation spell. Silver Hourglass. Question now is, Chaos Factor Ita and company gonna make it to the boss before someone in our base gets rocked? If you played Red Alert before, I don't think StarCraft is any more difficult. Blizzard is probably one of the best companies at taking a genre and like diluting it to its most necessary parts. It's certainly more complicated than a non-RTS game, but I would be surprised if it was any more tough to get into than, say, Red Alert. I think those are the only two genres of games that I've almost entirely avoided outside of Twitch: RTS and horror. I'm trying to think if I can come up with another one, but not because I don't like them, but just because I'm not good at them. It's part of the fun of watching me play horror games. Fuck you, Chaos Factor, for putting Outlast on Subblock next week. I gotta add it. Remember to add it to my Steam wishlist. I assume it's going to go on sale in the Steam sale search tomorrow. Stain the soil with blood and bring souls to him. Nice block. These guys hit like trucks. Alright. At least these boss battles, though, you only have to kill the leader and the mission's over. I like to play the Warcraft titles too, just to go through the campaign mode. The story is pretty neat. Yeah. You can play through the campaign without too much trouble, right? I think there's even... Is there a difficulty slider for both of them? Ooh, there's a classic weapon. How do I know that name? I don't know if Jahan's around to correct my pronunciation here. It's, Levitain? It's part of the Poetic Edda from, my man Snorri Sturluson. I think the name of that sword is, it translates to, like, damaged twig. One of many Norse mythology weapons that you see in a lot of Japanese games. Japanese really like to take inspiration from Norse. The Mazeroth. It's a pretty cheesy name, isn't it? Alright, so two questions. Do I go to the Tundra of Argent next, or the Blue Basilica? And while you're answering that question, I'm gonna go try to find the Sable of Lands and get whatever items over there. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Good to see you. How was bowling? Most recently. Well, I think that's what's interesting, is that StarCraft kind of has the trinity of RTS styles. I think that people will apply those to other games where Zerg is all about micro. You have lots and lots of little units, so if you're really good at micromanaging all of your characters, you can play them really well. Protoss is the opposite. They're all about macro. They have a very small number of very powerful units. So what really matters is the big decisions that you're making. And then the Terrans are kind of a balance of the two. There's a lot of like gaming memes that have come out of StarCraft that we still use. Zerging content. Just winning by force of numbers alone. Nice. I'd love to get into bowling. It seems like fun. Some of my favorite media has been about bowling. I think I'm gonna have to Google Valiant Mantle, Sable Lowlands. Valiant Mantle. Yeah, trying to be not last. It's nearly like going on something that came on me. Hey Spiky, thank you for the host. Of course, if you guys haven't followed Spiky, please do. He's been playing Mass Effect. I tuned in very briefly this morning right after my parents left before I went live. I love watching blind playthroughs of Mass Effect. Like, in real life, I've had friends come over and be like, you should sit down and play this game on the condition that you let me watch like some weird video game voyeur, which isn't so weird anymore with Twitch. I need to experience this again vicariously through others. And I'm probably going to try tuning in more, streaming in the morning. I'm trying to look up where I can find these Valiant Mantles. Hold up. Just chill for a second. Sable Lowlands map. Try Sable Lowlands item map, maybe? Ooh, a ghost. I haven't had any random battles with monsters in a minute. No, I wouldn't be able to press the interrupt button because I don't think I want to ghost anyway. Item maps. Torn Claw. Cool. Yeah, I look forward to tuning in. Try Ogre Battle 64 Valiant. So we're here trying to get an item to upgrade another character and see what Black Knight. The road between Temel and Shichidaru? All over the place here with their names of towns. This is here. And this is here. Okay. So if we just march somebody to this town, we might land it. That makes me suspicious that I already found it. But I guess we'll find out here in a second. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I really like the side quests in Mass Effect, especially Mass Effect 2. I think the side quests in the second one are like how side quests should be done. It feels like all of them add something to the game. They're unique content. It's not just doing the same thing over and over. You start to notice like the same habs, basically, like the prefab structures in Mass Effect. Like, okay, this is this style of dungeon level, and the map's not going to change significantly. The second one, though, there's a lot of unique set pieces in between the different levels. It's on the road. I must have already gotten it. I'll try walking around here real quick to see if I can make it happen. If we don't get it, we'll just move on. I imagine it's not terribly brutal, the requirements of finding it. Oh man. Have you had anything... What's the craziest thing that's happened to you driving around on a random planet? Also, some of the like planet descriptions. That's what it was. The other day I was saying how we were playing Skies of Arcadia, and the discoveries would include just little tiny snippets of lore that could be like the focus of a game by themselves, but just little neat ideas that plants for like gaming campaign. Mass Effect's the other game that does that, is that whenever you read a planet description, they might put in some cool little thing about, oh, there was a Krogan warlord here who like used a laser to write, you know, I have the biggest balls in the universe on the moon nearby. Or like, oh, here's a planet where, you know, scans of the gas giant show a bunch of things that look like coffins flying underneath the winds, and you're like, man, that could be like the seed material for an entire game. That could be the MacGuffin. And just hundreds of those. I love reading those planet descriptions. They're so cool. Alright, let's see. So I'm just going to keep going up to the one up top here. Save real quick. Later, Alzavar. Thanks for popping in. Thanks again for those. Appreciate it. Leia's father. Liberate Remus. Yeah, thanks so much. End briefing. I think that Leia has to be in our party. It was no big deal. He joined us eventually, kind of. Do you both have robot arms? I've heard that that helps people get along. This is a very Final Fantasy Tactics-like scene. Really, I dig this theme. Alright, let's get Chaos Factor and company on the move. Later, night. Enjoy work. Thank you for the host. And see you around. Renegade is pretty much synonymous with asshole. I think that the purpose of Renegade is supposed to be, you know, do what needs to be done. Like, you know, if you had to make a decision and to sacrifice one person to save 1,000,000, that would be the Renegade decision. And Paragon is more do the right thing, the honorable thing. Do you see it on YouTube as well, Leon? Do you hear any audio? Hey Retro, how you doing? Good seeing you. I'll have to change class, they turn into skeleton 2 lives. about it. And justify the means, that's a good way to put it. Sometimes they're... Ooh, Jormungand. That's the name of the World Serpent, also known as Midgard's Order. Encircles the world, and will be the death of Thor at Ragnarok. I don't know if they're going to do that in the movie. Yeah, it depends. Have you done any of the like story planets yet? That's where a lot of the Renegade versus Paragon decisions really rest. I think it's an interesting decision most of the time. Like the last decision in Mass Effect 1 is Paragon versus Renegade, and I think it's really clever. You could see arguments in both directions. I think you think about it like each decision they offer you is better or worse. They're not all amazing, but there are some that are very clever. And to me, it feels like a well-written decision is one where you could see the argument for either one, and a poorly written one is where there's one that's clearly the correct choice to make. And unfortunately, the games don't really reward you for going down the middle and just making each decision as you come to it. Most of the reward comes from picking whether you want to be a Paragon or a Renegade and just going all out in that one direction. Alright, sounds good, Retro. Thank you. Popping on the stream, just fix it. Twitch they're running out of time, man. They've got 8 days to finish replacing Flash video streaming with HTML5. They said they'd be done by Q2 2016, and their time's about up. So, we'll see. That might come with some improvements, actually. Ah, perfect. Combat. Cool, it's like $10. I'm just going to grab it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess the racist part of it is like, do you think that there should be peace among all of the species, or if humans should be on top? And we should put down others so that humans can be ahead. A punch a reporter, yeah, that's pretty famous sequence in all 3 games. Pat it with your snide insinuations. Pat it with your disingenuous assertions. Yeah, it feels like they had something good going with Paragon, but they couldn't really get Renegade to mesh in every social situation. It's almost like I would think, just don't bother doing something Renegade if it doesn't make sense. And they actually kind of do that in Mass Effect 2. Like, you'll notice that just about every conversation in Mass Effect 1, the radial conversation wheel has an option in every direction. And eventually in 2 and 3, a lot of the conversations might only give you 2 options. If it doesn't make sense to split it off that much. Yeah, exactly. The Asteroid DLC, I think that's one of the good ones. Novaria is a cool one. And again, just talking about the decisions in the context of what they're asking you to do, not what the actual consequences are. Like, knowing the consequences of both decisions actually kind of spoils them in a lot of ways. But the one at the end of the plot planet Novaria is cool. Let's see, what's another good one? The one at the very end of the game, like I mentioned. A lot of the ones in Mass Effect 2 are really interesting. Mass Effect 2 is more like a JRPG, and it's very like character squad building focused. So rather than the missions being a lot of plot and setting building. It's like, let's explore the backstory of character A, or let's explore the backstory of character B, and so on. Yeah, we must be lower level because we're actually getting a significant amount of XP in these fights now. And we're not just, you know, trouncing them in one go. It's kind of nice, actually. Skies of Arcadia is interesting because it doesn't really do that, right? Like, it's a very setting-focused game. We haven't really gone and done, hey, let's do Aika's backstory, let's do Fina's backstory, let's do Gilder's backstory. FF6 is, like, I think the epitome of that, where, yeah, there's a big overarching plot that's moving everything forward, but you do spend a good chunk of the game exploring each character that you need in the ensemble cast. Like, this is the Setzer part of the game, this is the Sabin part of the game. This is the Cyan part of the game, and so on. That guy's got a rad looking... He must be a Lich. I don't think I've seen that model before. It looks gnarly. Nice. Living that dream. I think that's pretty much how Andrea handled it, is that in those little rando conversations, she was kind of an asshole. Or she was not an asshole in the little rando conversations, but she usually made the renegade decision when it was more zoomed out. The big ones. Give me your Lich hat. I am your father. Okay, that also works. Well, there you go, Leia. You didn't have to fight your dad. I'm guessing that's a bonus scene, provided we still have Leia in our party and she didn't, like, perma-die or anything like that. Let's see. Master, Cataphract, nothing new here or here. That's okay. I might see about using some of these. We have a bunch of Scrolls of Discipline. I guess I don't think I've done the duping yet. Yeah, exactly. No, I went to Tundra. I have to pick now between Blue Basilica and Barfeth. Is there one that I should go to rather than the other one? I would very much like to get a princess. That would be awesome. Princesses are extremely powerful in Ogre Battle. They give all of your other units one additional action, which in a game that's based on how many actions do you get, pretty OP, as they say. Blue Basilica. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you'll notice that the big decisions tend to give you way more points in whichever direction you picked. I was much more of a Paragon player. Andrea doesn't know what happens in the Paragon playthrough. She primarily did Renegade, so she always gives me shit. You always make the stupid decision. Hey Propagable, how you doing? I feel like games that are based on like making moral decisions, you have to be really careful. It's very easy for it to evolve into like, do you want to be Jesus or do you want to be Satan? Like, there's not a lot of subtlety to it. I think that, you know, do what needs to be done, humans first versus, you know, let's include everybody, try to do the right or honorable thing, even if it has bad consequences for us, so we don't lose sight of who we are. It's an interesting idea and concept, it's just hard to deploy it to everything. I don't know what other, like maybe Law versus Chaos could be interesting. kind of a similar concept, though. Probably need to get some more, distribute some more Altars of Resurrection. I think I'm running low on them. Just around in big trouble if somebody dies in the middle of the map. Get marching. What's new? Not much. Check the mission objective. I think it's just the march we want to go on here. Apparently my parents remembered Shenmue, me playing when I was a kid. I forgot that I played that with my sister Robin. She's like, do you still play that game where you're like a Japanese kid going around being polite to strangers? I'm like, I totally did. I played it on Twitch. It was awesome. I had a bunch of people who had never seen it before who tuned in for it. But I think that Shenmue might be the perfect game to watch somebody else play through on Twitch. It's like, you really don't need to go to the trouble of tracking down a Dreamcast copy or playing it on an emulator. Like, you'll kind of get the general idea if you tune in for 45 minutes per day. Excuse me, what can you tell me about the language of Chinese? Which drink should I buy? I love these. I still stand by my, it's the most amazing, most awesome, most rad, most boring fucking game ever made. Yeah, right, Kevin? Oh, I thought it was cool that they remembered that game and stuck out for them. It's a joy. I know, right? Yeah. It's boring, but I like its flavor of boring, if that makes sense. It's not a visual novel, but it's almost a visual novel. I don't think I've played anything else that's anything like Shenmue. It's in its own genre. It'll be fun when we do Shenmue 2 on stream, but that one at least, I've played Shenmue before and enough to remember most of the story, but the second one I have no idea what I'm in for. Blind. Maybe we'll be able to finish it by the time the third one comes out, too. Still not entirely convinced the third one's going to be a thing. It's been in development hell for so long. But we shall see. The big limiting factor right now for our progression through a map is whether we have to encamp or not. That sounds really cool, Leon. I'll have to look that up. I heard it. Hey, Sir Anderson, thank you for the host. How are you doing? On with Dark Souls 2. I'm not going to be playing that till Friday this week, but I'm kind of itching to get into it. I should have recorded it. I was playing Dark Souls with the first one, my sister, when she was in town, because she wanted to see it. Her commentary is very funny. She was getting so pissed at me. Every time I would die, like, and lose my souls, she'd be like, you ain't got a plan. What you doing? You ain't got no plan. Letting your souls go. Bad dudes, welcome. I was waiting for you. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out. Does it all take place in the booth too? I love stuff that's just weirdly compelling. Like if you just described it to somebody, the bullet points of it, it's like that. Why would I want to watch that? But then you do it, and it's actually really awesome. Katamari Damacy is like that too. Like the back of the box description for Katamari is like, you roll stuff up. Okay, it's amazing though. This party is my OP group. 2 wizard-like characters that do AoE damage. My sister is very inappropriate. I told her if she wanted to do a stream, we totally could, but she'd probably have to watch her language. Like, you think Andrea's bad? Oh, right. You can beat that fight though, can't you? The Asylum Demon? With the broken straight sword or whatever. I think you get his sword if you do it. Just a pain in the ass. It's always in the booth. Fantastic. Leaf sword. Yeah, we'll do something with Robin eventually. We just didn't have time for it this weekend. Maybe if we bring her out here just by herself. Yeah, I'd probably have to turn on the adults only. You get his club if you beat him. That's cool. Birth in Danica. One of the reports Danica ate the fruit of the Netherworld. By doing so, both her body and soul... Okay, so it's kind of like Adam and Eve. Oh, I see. Sure. You guys are probably like Robin. I posted a picture of her. We went to like they do this concert thing in the summer in Los Alamos. There's like this place called Ashley Pond. It's like technically it should be called Ashley Pond because it's named for a guy named Ashley Pond. Anyway, they do a concert there on Fridays, so we took her there. Got a picture, put it in the Marstead IRL channel. No, I didn't see it. I've been busy with my family off hours all week. Did you send it on Discord? I'll have to take a look. I don't think we'll do any adults-only games. I think those are all... First of all, I'm not interested in playing them. Second of all, I think they're all banned on Twitch. Adult language, you would... Very, very strong adult language you have to deal with from my sister. Cool, I'll take a look at it. Alright, so now that I've done the Blue Basilica, what do I have to do to get a princess, Kami, if you're still hanging out? Try to look at my class list here. Quake is 20 years old, wow. That's scary. Final Fantasy VII is about to be 20 years old next year. It's the one game that I can always remember because it was 97. Clemona? Clemona. Today I wasn't going to do Monster Hunter multiplayer, maybe like for 30 minutes or so. I would just like to push through the main single-player story for a bit. Unlock some more stuff. Do I have one called Clemona? I don't know if I do. Do I have access to it already? Piedmont, Dardanelles, Gulas Hills, Romulus, Tremos, Temple of Birth. Oh, I see. It's like a Temple of Eve. Sure. Sacred Land, Tundra, Barfoot, Lathium. Maybe it'll unlock later as we progress to other places. Those of you are saying that it's inside the Basilica. Yep, okay. Understand now. Thank you. There's a shop there, too. I have no idea. After we beat Ogre Battle, I'm going to be playing the very last game from my old... When I first started the server system, I had a bunch of games come in, and I've been late in getting to them. Outstandingly late in the case of Ogre Battle 64, and Albert Odyssey, which is a Sega Saturn RPG. The other games from that old system we've finished beating, The Secret of Monkey Island, which is actually pretty short, and Silent Hill 2, which is fairly short. Hey, Sortus, what's groovin'? What's groovin', bro? How was your day treating you? I found an axe, I found an axe, I found an axe, hey, 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 hey. Now once we finish Albert Odyssey, we'll have that time open back up Wednesday, we'll go back to being an all-day free-play affair. Probably be a mix of Mario Maker and Monster Hunter. I'm also considering converting over to Monster Hunter Generations. I'll keep doing Monster Hunter for you in the meantime, just to kind of get more familiar with the gameplay style. But it would be nice when Generations launches, folks will more or less be on the same page, or more likely to be on the same page. Takeout versus shopping. I made my truffle mac and cheese before stream today, and I reheated and had it for dinner. Googled Noodles and Company truffle mac copycat recipe. If you're interested. Pretty good. You get some truffle oil on Amazon, pretty big bottle of it fairly cheaply. Aww. Icarus, so soft and furry. Cannot be denied. Andrew will cook me sometimes, he's like, aw, who's a kitty? Dylan, who's a kitty? And I'll be like, is Ben the kitty? He's like, yes, Ben is the one who is the kitty. Okay. Hey, HCL, how you doing? I feel like Ogre Battle would pretty significantly benefit from a fast forward or slow down system, in addition to the live pausing. Seems like it'd be cool if Square revived this series and took one more stab at it, since they improved just about everything. And it has some really cool ideas, like the soldier and legionnaire system. Apparently they're not particularly useful, the legionnaires or the legions in this game, but I could see them changing in the way that they are. Okay. Check out the shop first. Whoa. All kinds of shit. Apparently all of which I already have. Huh? My bad. Right. What's up? Bookworks. Oh, I fell in love with a maid from the south. I promised her I would give up my title and run off to live in the south. As I look at my promise, because I only need the life of affluent nobility, I feared the peasant's life. Father showed up in my place. He chased her away and she went back home to Aldo. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer. That's cute, HDL. I feel like if I were able to cook in such a way that we consumed all of the ingredients that I purchased, 100% of them, then it would be cost effective. But since usually the leftovers don't get completely eaten and having to get thrown out, or we don't end up using all of the ingredients, it's pretty cost comparable to buy frozen versions of the same thing. Certainly. So I'm guessing I have to go to Alba now with this thing, Kami. Package for Alba. Hey, True Dauber, what's groovin'? Good to see you. Where Alba at? Saw it earlier, so I know it's gonna happen. Crossroad, Alba. Try Googling package for Gelda. Oh, it's not here? Oh, okay. Disregard. Boolum. I wonder how you'd find that normally then. We're unlocking a really, really strong bonus class. Yeah. Could also be better about actually using leftovers, you know. Oh, it looks like my bot just went down and came back up. You can try again. Happens sometimes. Briskly walking to the town. Get my stuff on. Yeah, we had a Google Shopping Express in California. We can't get in Los Alamos. It's too remote. It was pretty tits, as Andrew would say. We never had to go to Costco. I really like Costco, but I don't like Costco in the Bay Area because it's super packed all the time. It's very stressful to get around. Ellen's Nobian Burger. Gotcha. Oh right, I have to select the character to get in there. I'm not going to be doing multiplayer today, I don't think, Dauber. If I do, it'll just be like the last 20 minutes or so. I wanted to get a little bit further in the single player, but we'll bring back multiplayer next week. I should be able to add an extra 30 minutes on next week as well, so it'll be a 5-hour stream. Nobian Border. Must be hard to find this without a guide. The other person points you towards Alba, but maybe there's somebody else in Alba that points you in the right direction. Yeah, the ranks in my bot, there happen to be just as many ranks as there are bosses in Chrono Trigger, plus the Imp, which is like one of the first enemies you encounter. So it counts up towards rank 1, where rank 1 is the secret boss after the end of the game, and the Imp is the very first rank. So we said Zenobian Border L, which is right here. L. Not terribly far. This person's probably going to give me a tip too, as to where we want to go. I guess when you prestige, if you want to lock yourself in on a rank, you can probably do that. Let's see. Masamune is a sword in Japanese legend. It's actually, I think it's the swordsmith, but he also makes a sword. That's his namesake. Shows up in a lot of games. A lot of Final Fantasy titles have it as a late game katana. It's a very significant part of the story in Chrono Trigger. You fight Masa and Mune as two different entities, and you fight them together. Yep, that's Sephiroth's sword as well, that's correct. There's a cool legend about Masamune, the Holy Blade, and what is it, Muramasa or Murasame? One of the two is the Demon Blade. So it's like you put Masamune in a river, and all the leaves in the river will float around it. And if you put the demon blade in the river, all the leaves will be cut precisely in half. Highlands of Southland. Okay. Later, John. Thanks for hanging out. I guess they make this very hidden so that you don't stumble on it and make the game trivial. I had 2 princesses by the end of my Super Nintendo Ogre Battle playthrough, just through blind luck. I got one in a really early map, the item to convert to it. Tricilia? Where Tricilia? Oh, there you go. Short walk. I don't need to camp in the Hey, thank you for the follow, Van. How you doing? Happy Wednesday/Thursday to me, everybody. Keep thinking that you just select a town, that's what you go into it, right? Not appear to be the case. Zelda passed years ago. It's gonna give you the package then? So I'm going to go back to the place that was in the Basilica. Yeah, I'm excited to do Tactics Ogre as well. I'm a little bit more of a fan of the tactical RPG versus the more strategy RPG style of this one. So it'll be fun to see what that's like. With the same team making Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm excited for it for sure. This game already is just way, way, way better than March of the Black Queen. It's improved on just about every way. But I'd really like them to take another stab at this particular style of games. I think I'm going to have to... Lamona was a long enough walk that the main character ended up getting camped on the way. Let's see. Maybe we'll luck out and get into like a fight with a monster that we can recruit. So I'd like to get a griffin or something, or maybe a couple more hawk people so I can make a unit that's all flying characters. We're unlocking the princess class here. Very, very strong. Yep, we already played through March of the Black Queen. This one I've got VODs up for it on YouTube, games.marstead.com, and check out the titles we've played so far. Ogre Battle will be a regular feature each week until we beat it. I really like this composer too. He's done a lot. The Ivalice Final Fantasy titles. What else do I know him from outside of Final Fantasy and Ogre Battle? I think just Google him, I suppose. I think he does. I usually like really, really like melodic video game music. I think he does Sakamoto. He does orchestral really well. Let's see. The games that he's done that I've played that aren't Final Fantasy. Oh, he did Odin Sphere. There's a sweet game. Odin Sphere is super weird. Valkyria Chronicles. That makes sense. That's right. I think a lot of people have done... There's a bunch of composers on Terra Battle. Uematsu is one of them. Super Back to the Future, Gauntlet. Valkyria is the one that I've played most recently, that in Odin Sphere. Back to the Dance. I guess he did it for Legend of Legaia too, which is interesting. Along with Yasunori Mitsuda? No shit! Mitsuda is the Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross composer. I had no idea that they worked together. I kind of want to check out what's going on with the Legaia 2 soundtrack just to see what that's all about. Bordeaux and the 10 planes. Okay. Let's pop in. Hey, what's up, dude? Oh, that's okay, I can take care of it. Retro, thank you. It is the Dream Tiara. It enables females to change into the princess class. Wow, he was really like straightforward about the mechanics of this item. In a game that's almost like goes out of its way to obscure mechanics like that from you. Right. So why else? I've got the item that I need to make a princess now. So why? What else do I need here? Maybe no one meets the requirements for it. So they need something more than just the crown to do it in this one. I could see that being what's up. I see. Wow, so nothing would really point you in the direction of this place, huh? Alright. Go on the 10 planes. Oops, didn't mean to do Hero Report. Hero Report is very similar to a lot of the details you can get at bars and taverns in Final Fantasy Tactics. Alright, so we're going to Bordeaux, which is not a long walk. Might actually luck out and get into a monster fight in the forest here. I think we've been here, got monster fights before. Or he could just, you know, take the road and not take the straight path. The AI must think it's faster. Perhaps it is faster. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it seems like the character pathfinding is fairly smart, you know. Oh right, you said that, didn't you? Alright, I'm almost done. Do I have a character in this party that I could? Maybe this party can't have someone other than the main character be the leader. That wouldn't surprise me. Commander of battalion cannot be changed. Alright, well, in that case, we'll just send somebody else out. Dragon Tamers are female, is that right? Some of these. Not much, buddy. Is there anything on the horizon that's big for strategy or tactical RPGs? I feel like after Fire Emblem Conquest, I haven't heard of anything big that's coming out anytime soon. Bubble tea's delicious. Andrew's a really big fan. We don't have any options for it either. Maybe if we went down to Santa Fe. There it is. Yeah, D-piece. Untold story? Oh, interesting. Bolt of Silk is available on the 15th of every month. Okay. Wow. This is a wild goose chase, isn't it? Okay. Dardanelles. Okay. No, I've seen it. There is no way in a bajillion years I feel like that a person just playing through this game normally would ever come across this. Oh, it takes 2 days to travel here? Shit. Well, I have to figure out a way to land there in the right timing. 3, 4. It's 5. Go to 8. It's too much. Try this though. That's gonna be 14. 16. That plus 4, and this is plus 8, I think. It's 5. Oh, I see. I forgot that once you go to the map, that dates are still passing. Okay, hold on. That gives you time to walk there too, doesn't it? How long does it time for full days to pass in battle? If I go in on the 10th, am I gonna have to like AFK for a long time to get there? I'm trying getting it a little bit closer, hold on. There, that's much better. Let's save in case we screw something up. Melfi. Might actually take that opportunity to run to the restroom then. It's gonna take a while to get there. They came out on the 13th, so it's gonna have to say days 02 for it to become the 15th, I think. Okay, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Throw up the BRB while we're waiting for time to pass. Enjoy the riveting sequence here of waiting for days to pass in the battle map. And the actually quite good music from this level. Kitties were upset that I got up. They assumed that it was for me to feed them. Hey, hey. You got it. Bolt of Silk. Okay, will do. Alright, where are we heading now? About 64. Bilney, 10 planes with a female leader. Okay. Remember that this time. Is all the way south, so let's dispatch the DPs and head down there. Since this like fetch quest isn't terribly interesting. We already talked about E3. I mentioned how stoked I am for The Last Guardian. I'm really not even sure what kind of game it's going to be. It looks like it's mostly a puzzle game at the end of the day. I don't know if there's ever going to be a combat system. It looks like it's more like Eco than like Last Guardian. I still need to play through Eco, so when that launches in October, I might do a quick... I think Eco is pretty short. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. It's maybe 8 hours, depending. Might be a little bit longer since it'll be blind for me. We might knock that out real quick before it comes out. Hey, Jahan, how's it going? Good seeing you. How's your almost Thursday coming? Yeah, honey is a pretty good one. Monster Hunter X, not the same as Monster Hunter Generations, right, Sornus? Excuse my ignorance. Sure. We Final Fantasy VII in the club. I wanted to be soft and to shimmer. So, we didn't have a wedding, my wife and I. We just got married at a courthouse. Instead of spending a bunch of money on a wedding dress... okay, that one's a little bit less on the nose. But like, it's made to make you look like a princess. Instead of like, you can use this to switch to the princess class. Anyway, she didn't want to dress, obviously, since we didn't have a wedding, but she wanted to get a really expensive, like, fancy coat. So she has this Burberry coat that she calls her wedding coat. And she said it was her dream because we went into the store and the guy at Burberry come and said, you know, guessed her size just by looking at her. She's like, man, that only happens in movies. Check was the Japanese name for it. Gotcha. Awesome, Jahan. Remind me of the release date for Monster Hunter Generations. I'm gonna see if I can, pick it up so I can have it right when it comes out. Nope, not yet. So you said, where's the last place? Gulas Hills, southwest of Belizappo. Man, that is a town name right there. Oh, so soon. Okay. It appears to have all the same mechanics as For You. There's nothing really crazy or new. Belizappo is right there, so it must be... Not actually sure if it's going to be on this side of the river or not. Maybe we'll try here first. I'll just send 2 people out. Oh wait, maybe that answers my question actually. The moveset customization is kind of cool. So it's like you have additional... It's almost like having talent trees in a game like World of Warcraft, where, yeah, you're a paladin, but you could be a healing paladin or a retribution paladin or whatever. Now, what are you playing? Evo starts on the same day. I keep reading that Evo is like a esports competition and not... Hey, there's Battle Fan. Good looking out. Not the Enix title for the Super Nintendo that desperately needs a sequel. Needs an entire franchise. The Evolution RPG, where instead of experience points, you earn evolution points and can evolve from a fish into a frog. It was freaking rad. Love to see another take on it. That's not Spore. Alright, so it doesn't show up in the class list. Sure I don't need a 4th thing? Or some other requirement to be able to convert to it? Or does it just trigger when they're equipped with all of the necessary items without showing up in the class list normally? Try that too. stoked. That's stocked. Alignment 70 or more. Okay, that explains the problem. I'll just go ahead and do that. I needed to up the alignment of some of my cleric characters anyway to make them less shitty, so... You guys get to see the item duplication glitch in this game. It's actually kind of cool. So what you do, and I've done this off stream quite a bit, you go to a unit, you go to carry item, right? And you put an item that you want to duplicate in the final slot. I'm going to do this scroll of discipline, so it increases the alignment of a character. And what we're going to do is we're going to confuse the game. We're going to remove a character. Each one of these characters contributes like item carrying slots to the party. So we're going to remove a character that only has one slot. In this case, our cleric Apex. So now the game is confused. It's like, what happened to that item you were supposed to carry? So we're going to go. It's under unit commands. We're going to go down here to back. Part of the glitch is you have to leave the bottom slot empty. We're going to take it back and notice now it says we have 55 scrolls of discipline when we only had one. It's basically, it's done a rollover. It's gone negative and it can't actually go negative, so it just goes to the maximum 255. Then we're going to go to item commands. We're going to go to sell item. We're going to go to scroll of discipline. We're going to sell 2 of them, which finishes maxing it out. We're going to close out. Come back in. Let's go ahead and put a cleric back in that party. Alright, and now, in theory, we should have a whole shit ton of those items that increase alignments. Yup. I'm not sure how many we'll have to use, because we're going to watch the little scale there and try to boost them up to lawful. We've been doing this with level items primarily. You can see if I scroll up to maybe item here. Yeah, champion statuette levels up a unit. So instead of having to grind on stream, I've been duplicating the champion statuette and then leveling everybody up in the game up to the same level as my highest level character. It takes a while. It looks like this one doesn't give you a huge boost. Oh wait, now it says lawful. Maybe the display doesn't change if you're on the same character. Let me see if I can produce that here. Yeah, maybe you have to like close out to get the thing to display correctly. Let's see if it shows up in our list class now. Not yet. Yeah, that makes sense, Stabber. That's cool. There's a similar one in Demon Souls. I wish they would patch out. It makes it really hard for me to want to farm anything and go for the final unlock in that game. Hey, there it is. And we've got Priest and Princess. Okay, so let's go ahead and do Princess. And then we'll try to make more people into Priests. I might not actually want Apex to be the Princess, so we'll have to see what her abilities are and then change it out. Character commands. Can I just do like unit status somewhere? Like I just want to see like what their abilities are, but I don't think I can see that very easily. Maybe under formation. Take Apex's ass to Red Lobster. Thunder Flare, Lightning, Lightning. So it's aggressive. We don't want it to be in a party that we're not using aggressively. So we can switch this one over to a priest. Priestess, I suppose. Okay, so the next goal here is we're going to go and upgrade the alignment of all of our clerics. And we're going to change one of them. Well, let's see. I could change Mega Man into... I'd have to pop the alignment all the way up. I could change Mega Man into a princess and then change... who's the cleric in this one? D-Rock into a priestess. Let's do that. Indeed, Zapdos. They have to be the group leader? Okay, thank you for mentioning that. Mega Man, you're about to be the superhero team group leader here soon. It looks like you have to close out of the organize menu for the alignment changes to actually have a noticeable effect. You can see there where it says D-Rock in the top left corner, there's these scales and there's a C that means that it's still chaotic. It will change to lawful, but you won't see the scales tip and they won't have new class options until you leave the map and come back into it. And Mega Man, you're the chosen one, you get to be the pretty princess. I'm not going to worry too much about upgrading everybody else. I'll do that off stream. Me spamming duped items to up people's alignment isn't terribly fun. Fiasco is the closest thing to LARPing I've done. I'm sure you've all seen the... I don't remember who posted it, but there's like a nerd hierarchy. Everybody justifies their nerdiness by saying, well, at least I'm not as nerdy as this person. If somebody plays Madden games, like, well, at least I don't play RPGs. And somebody who plays RPGs says, well, at least I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. And somebody plays Dungeons and Dragons says, well, at least I don't LARP. Like, at the end of the day, whatever you want to do to have fun that's nerdy, you should do it. But that's the only line that I haven't crossed yet. It's tough. It's like, the thing that I would like to see is how can you have a system that prevents LARPing from degenerating into cops and robbers, right? Like, I shot you, no you didn't. I've got super bullet armor. I think that there are certainly LARPing systems that have rules for that. And I think that they're most appreciated by people who are good at improv anyway. Improv isn't about, I shot you, no you didn't. I've got super armor. Improv is yes and. If you have that as a mode, I think you can have more fun with it. There's a pretty funny clip. Look up Liam Neeson, improv comedian. I forget the name of the show. It was Ricky Gervais was on it. Or ran it. He's just really failing at improv, and it's really funny. Here's an improv situation. You be a doctor, and I'll be a hypochondriac. Ding ding! Hello. Oh, it's you again. What do you mean it's me again? We've never met before. That's awesome, Sardis. Good for you. Yeah. No, I just think it's a funny hierarchy. Yeah, you're right. So it's cyclical, random. Exactly. Yeah, if someone wants to find the Liam Neeson thing, it cracks me up every time I see it. Alright, I think we have to dupe this one more time to finish. We need to use a lot of them. New question though. Does the priest get 2 items? Okay, no, still only gets 1 item, so we can still use her. Alright, so carry item. Scroll of Discipline. Final slot. Remove Apex. Carry item. Oh shit, where'd that item go? What we gotta do? I think you can do this twice as fast if you have a character that can carry 2 items and remove them, but I haven't messed around with it. I don't use it enough to warrant like trying to automate it. Oops. I recommend tabletop RPGs. I think especially if you're familiar with like RPG video games, that you've got a strong enough connection for it not to be intimidating. And if you have a good dungeon master or game master, depending on what game you're playing, you shouldn't have to know anything about the rules. Like your DM should be able to fill all that in for you. You should just be able to say, I want my character to do this, and your GM should be able to convert that to rules. So don't let the rules side of it be intimidating. Level 99 party, yeah. That makes sense. Does anyone do a no glitches speedrun? Oh. My guys might be getting some dropped frames. I'm keeping an eye on it here. It's dipping into 0 kbps every few seconds. Profit, exactly. I want to up the rest of my clerics, but it would take too long since we took us like 55 items to get somebody up to get 3 people up to lawful. A little bit more than that. It's a cool glitch though. I don't usually use glitches in games, and I don't speedrun stuff, but I love reading about glitches in games. It's kind of cool to see how people eke every last drop out of the engine. Yeah, they'll probably keep dropping for a little bit. Whenever you see me dropping frames, that's usually a time when Comcast would have just dropped the stream before, so... Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. You all should watch that, it's too funny. That's the one. AIDS might be a bit of a touchy subject for improv comedy. There it is, alright. Back out and head back in. Okay, so congratulations, Mega Man. You're a pretty princess. Not insignificant amount of work went into making you a pretty princess. Yeah, right. Alignment management is a cool idea, but honestly, I'm not sure if it's fun. Yeah, it's fine. We're not evil enough to be sorceresses anymore. There's too many invisible mechanics with it, I think, is part of the problem. I don't know how to do the character alignment system better, you know. I think it's because it feels like there's a lack of choice, or rather that for you to make the choices, you have to really be microing really hard. You can't just be kind of casually playing through a map and manage to keep everyone's alignment where you want it to be. You kind of have to go crazy, inspect every enemy units, make sure that the alignment matches, look at every single town. Like, maybe it just would be a UI thing. Like, if there was just something on the UI for a unit that was just like red or blue, depending on whether it's chaotic or lawful, and you have that for every town, you have that for every enemy unit, and for every friendly unit, and you make the, you know, it's redder if it's really chaotic, and bluer if it's really lawful, and maybe purple if it's in the middle. So you can just have a visual at a glance, you can make the spot decision. Yeah, that makes sense. No, FF Tactics has been developing it since then. Oh, I see what you're saying, Sornus. Gotcha. Alright, should I be going to Latium or Barfeth next? Double check, make sure all my units are where I want them to be while I wait on a response. Yeah, right. They got rid of alignment entirely from Final Fantasy Tactics, though, which is too bad. I like the system is cool. It has potential, I think. Slow special time, that's cool. What other party am I most likely to send out that could upgrade a bit here? Oh, Wilson's actually pretty close to being lawful anyway. Barfeth, okay. Oh, that's cool, Sornus. So everybody's trusted to just follow the rules on their own done, you need to have a... It's like a real-time version of the usually turn-based tabletop RPG. That's kind of cool. Oh right, I have to change the leader in He-Ten's party. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. It's gonna be the princess. Castle. So we lose a... We net lose one cast of Annihilation with this party, I think. Avoid fighting them at night. Interesting. Cool beans. Let's push. We're Bison. Yeah. No, I think that making the connection to improv probably helps me a little bit better. I unfortunately played a lot of games, a lot of like tabletop games with people that were not very good to play tabletop with when I was younger. Like, I want to cast Fireball on the town. Like, oh my god, guy, I just want to play the game. We just play the game. Princess, can be on our march. Yeah, oh, am I still able to get a Lich? We're gonna make Serp into a Lich, I think. We can find an item for it. That just happened during the main story, maybe. Yeah, I'll see. I might rearrange the party later. Yeah, I like playing a healer. The cool thing with healers is that it usually feels like you can do something productive every turn. The worst thing for me in tabletop games is missing. Like, feeling like you wasted your turn. It sucks really bad. OP. I try to turn animations on again when we get another battle just to see what the priest and princess stuff looks like. Look at Mega Man. Target has been eliminated. We might be lawful enough with 2 super lawful characters. Well, I guess we're outnumbered. There's 2 super lawful and 3 super evils. I go to turn on shit again. There we go. I think I can change equipment in the middle of the game, can I? Like in the middle of the battle? Take a look here in a second. Mega Man Ultra Kawaii. Yeah, I don't think so. It has to be out of battle. It's okay. Curious if there's like an accessory I can equip that would make Mega Man better. I wonder if anyone's found the princess class is part of just like a blind playthrough without reading a guide. It seems really well hidden, which is probably makes sense since it's so broken and OP. Now their alignment's just gonna tank all the way down. Back to pushing. kill the immediate threats. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it then. I think we're buff enough right now. There's like 8 missions left, I think. We said there were 43 scenes, and said this one was scene 35. Dropped from a random battle? Oh, yikes. So you gotta go up and down a lot to try to find it. Well, one of them, Zapdos, was like, you should go to Alba. And I went to Alba, and there was actually a different town we had to go to. Maybe there was somebody in Alba that pointed us to the next step, and this wasn't necessary to get all the way through it. Princess being all we need. Nice crit. Dark Quest? What the shit is that? Looking chimera looking thing over here. Dark Quest. Dark Quest almost like destroying my leader character too. That's not good. The city and also a whole map. Gotcha. Kill that frickin' chimera, man. It's pretty nasty. Okay, it's not as nasty in the front row. That's good. Oh, it's a Sphinx? Okay. Yeah, holy shit. I kinda want a Sphinx in my party. We'll see if we bump into one. Yeah, it's sort of moving. That's cool. Oh, right. So how does Love and Peace work? Do you have to use it in combat or something? This is the item that lets you recruit an enemy unit. Was that right? Should probably dupe them, although I doubt. I think I've got this unit's going to be so super powerful. It's basically going to tank the rest of the game, I think. We're gonna try to finish this this session in the organized screen, so I can do a little bit more unit management offline. So I think when we take this castle, we'll switch over to Monster Hunter. Oh, it's not one of the items that you can do. I see. You say like from this menu here. So like you use it from the menu, you find someone that's on the map, no matter where they are, and then you try to select a character in their party, I guess. Okay, sure. Who would you typically use it on? I guess some of the Black Knights that you encounter? No group leader. Interesting. Huzzah, Sornus. Okay, so if it's a random character, maybe the correct strategy then is to like kill everyone in the unit except for the one that you want to recruit and then use Love and Peace on them. Sure. Is there, so since you can't dupe it, then there's a finite number of Loves and Pieces you can find, or can they be purchased somewhere? Whoa. Shit in this castle is crazy looking. She's a Gorgon? Oh man. Oh man, that probably's demon monster. That's pretty sweet. The angels are the one that they have to die, but have a really high alignment and others like luck stats and stuff. Pain in the ass. Hey, what's up, girl? Can't buy it. Guess you don't want to misuse it then. Whoa, freaky music. You guys need to bust out a mirror shield here. Yeah, right? Holy shit. Whoa! Wow. Is there anything I can do about that? Is there like an immunity to petrification thing? I might have to carry off from my save that I made before we started this mission. Good God. And it just acted before we could do anything. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I think we're just gonna pick up from that mission next time, like from my save right before coming in here. Holy shit! That's another secret party too. Game over is right. I'm actually gonna go ahead and make a suspend save too. I'll see if there's a way to recover it. We could do the suspend. Otherwise, we'll just start back from the beginning. Cool. We'll be back shortly with Monster Hunter for you.